Good evening, and welcome to the top 5 games that I have enjoyed playing the most throughout this year. Now, I know most people would say that this should be games only that have released this year, but I'm not going to have that caveat on it. I don't think that's fair, and honestly, with things like Microsoft's Game Pass, there are so many great older games to dive into now. So anyway, without further ado, let's dive in and let's talk about the games that I've enjoyed the most throughout 2020. Demeo. Now, this is a game I wish I had played more this year, but I kind of put it off. Mainly that was because of the lack of a save game option. This did kind of dampen it for me, as a full playthrough could easily take 2 to 3 hours. Now, I don't have that kind of time to just set aside. Usually I have a session of about an hour, which is great for making it through 1 or 2 levels. Now, since then, they have, however, added it back in, and so I have been diving back in, and I've enjoyed the fact that you can save your progress. Now, why do I like it? Well, it's D&D meets VR. What's not to love? These are two things which I absolutely adore. It's a perfect game to play with friends, but also the single player element feels realistic to play as well. You just get to control more characters. In terms of the designs, everything feels very visceral. Everything that you're picking up, it feels like you're playing a board game. There's not really much more to say than that. My video show goes into more details of what I absolutely love, and you'll also see some streams that I've done on it. So yeah. The Artful Escape. Now, some people might just call this a 2D walking simulator, but as I said in my video, this is actually a discredit to what is an incredible game. This game's main story is around identity and people's expectations on you and how you can subvert those expectations in order to really represent who you are. While the gameplay is simplistic, it does keep you interested. It's just engaging enough that it doesn't hinder the story, but at the same time the story never takes away from the gameplay. There's a lot of movement. There's even just a button to just continually play music. I never got bored, and I loved absolutely every single second of this game. While it's short, that's a good thing, meaning that you can go through and complete it, and the story will stay with you. I completed this a few months back, and even now I'm still thinking about how great it was, and how I'm really kind of thinking about doing a playthrough again. Forza Horizon 5. Now, it could be argued that really Games Pass is the true winner here, and Microsoft really hit it out the park by offering Forza Horizon 5 along with Games Pass. This game is brilliant. Now, personally, I also enjoyed Forza Horizon 4, and 5 goes that one step further. While 4 was set in the UK, Forza Horizon 5 is set out in Mexico. Now, with this comes a much bigger map with way more varied landscapes. You can go from the top of a mountain where there's a volcano about to erupt, all the way down to a beach town and drive along the beach there, and everything in between. Forests, towns, it really is absolutely incredible. The progression also seems so much better than Forza Horizon 4. I always feel like I'm doing something, there's always something to unlock, and the map never feels too busy. It always feels manageable as you just complete stuff and new stuff just opens up. I love the ability to be able to gift cars to new players, as well as that idea that people can also gift stuff to you at any time, meaning that the barn finds are almost like a continual thing to do. The visuals of this are also absolutely incredible. I've said incredible a lot for this one, and honestly, you can sort of see what I'm saying. Regardless of what you're playing this on, this game looks brilliant. From an Xbox Series S, which is what I mainly play this on, all the way through to a high-end PC. It scales brilliantly. Hades. Okay, Now, I'm going to be honest here, this game took up almost the first half of 2020 for me. And there are a lot of good reasons here. Now, I am not a fan of the roguelike type thing. However, Hades really turned that around for me. The gameplay is addictive, it's tight, it feels brilliant and incredible, and I'm saying incredible a lot, but there's excellent storytelling, there's constant progression. Each run feels truly unique. I never felt like I was going into a run and it feeling exactly the same. The weapon variety, the enemy variety, the fact that as you progress you really do feel stronger, and progressing through the bosses gets easier and easier until you get to the end, but then the ability to increase your difficulty and still increase the story. I'm sure I heard voice lines more than once, but I don't remember it. There is so much content here. This is a game that I recommend to so many people regardless of what console you're playing it on. I played it on PC, but it's just as good on Switch as it is on all the other consoles. Star Wars Pinball VR. Okay, so obviously it's pinball. It's super relaxing, it's easy, it's pick up and it's play. And honestly, the tables are brilliant. The visuals of these are very true. It feels in a lot of ways like you are playing an actual pinball table. A lot of games that focus on things such as pinball will often take an approach where they can do things that can't be done on a regular table. Whereas actually, in this game, everything feels like this could be a real table. And I've always wanted to own a pinball machine, but living in Britain and not having the room for such a thing, this is definite great middle ground for that. Tables are interesting, there's a lot of content here. The visuals around the table with, things such as having the Mandalorian or Emperor Palpatine or even Luke standing by you and saying things makes for a nice immersive thing. And for me, the other great thing about this is it can be played seated or standing. So if I just want to play a quick 5 minutes, of course, I can jump up, stand around and play as if I'm playing a table. But if I'm looking to just while away a bit of a longer period of time, just sat in my chair playing pinball. It does feel absolutely great. So there we go. Those are the 5 games that I have enjoyed the most this year. Clearly, there's going to be things here that you might recognise, and hopefully it's identified something for you that you may not have considered. Now, I'm really curious, what have been your favourite games? What games have you dived into? Not necessarily games that came out this year, but games that you've just really enjoyed getting back into. For me, some extra honourable mentions. Slay the Spire has been a game that I've really put a lot of time into. I enjoy it. It hasn't been my favourite compared to these other ones, but it's definitely up the top there. The other one for me has been Subnautica, both in and outside of VR. It's a good game, and there's a lot to explore within it. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for dropping in. Please drop a subscribe, drop a like, all that kind of stuff. And until next time, thank you, and goodbye.